tes. Oke.
Welcome to the Valorant Champions Tour Pacific kickoff. After a wave of changes, stronger teams were waiting in the wings. Starting today, teams will face eliminations. But before that, it's time to meet our Pacific Kings in Seoul. It's time to showcase the might of W Gaming, PRX.
H.
They've already proven themselves against old rivals RRQ. Rev up the engine and keep the momentum going for the return of the ultimate, Gen G!
Gen G. Tim Korea. Was Alex ini.
Alright, so as both teams are here, we'll begin the map ban of today's first match. We'll conduct a coin toss to determine the higher seed.
Well, now going into our map bans for PRX versus Gen G. This is going to be so interesting because we have two teams that can be very flexible, right? PRX, pretty much everybody's expecting something to be flexing already, and we have Meteor and Munchkin that are able to flex as well for the side of Gen G. So as we were saying, we're not sure what agent composition we're going to get, but these maps are going to be pretty determinant of that.
Yeah, well, we'll get maybe a better idea as far as what they're going to be piloting, especially if Gen G has any kind of repeat maps that do come up. When they played against RQ, we saw Icebox, Split, as well as Sunset. But, okay, Gen G going to be bringing up Bree, so we will get a new look on this squad. Big question is, do they play Yoru?
Yeah, but if they do, that is some tape that Gen G actually has of how PRX plays that. And if it's not that, historically, PRX has struggled with Breeze a lot. So I actually like this pick from Gen G, especially with the option for things like the Operator, the Outlaw on this squad of Gen G.
I mean, I'm wondering if Gen G are going to be playing that Yoru as well. You know, do we get to see that coming through? Not something I believe the Textures really played maybe a handful of times in his career, but none of them really spring to mind. But Lotus coming in for Paper X, this just feels like maximum comfort. And overall, it is a map that there's an immense amount of tape on for them. So Gen G could have, you know, and will have had done a lot of studying of that map.
Well, it looks like Gen G have heard rumors of the Age of Yoru making a comeback, and they're like, oh, we remember Paper X on Vine. Let's not do that, right?
Yeah,
that one would be a little bit bold.
Yeah, I mean, definitely banning that out as well, and also I think accepting that the old ways that some of these players and the coaching staff used to play Bind no longer works. A lot of them used to actually have a lot of pride on Bind, but things have changed since then in the game in several different ways. So that is going to leave Sunset, which again, some tape from Paper X, though surely there could be a lot of changes as well.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them, versus Sentinels, and they did make that a pretty close one in the grand final. And like you mentioned before, had to run that back versus T1 as well. So there is a bit out there to study when it comes down to that newest map in the pool. But have they changed anything is the big question. But as we get ready to focus on Breeze, I mean, my eyes immediately just have to go to Forsaken to see what he's going to be playing.
Oh,
it's something playing Yoru as
We do get the
Forsaken's
Yoru.
playing Harbor.
And meanwhile, we have Astra for Charon as well for Gen G. And I mean, I'm actually okay with this. I think if you're going to play double controller, there's some options for that Astra as well, especially because you have the Cypher to really anchor down one site. But the single duelist Yoru for Paper X, I mean, we've seen
Triple control.
yes, and triple control as well, right? And Magnet and that Omen, so Magnet should be a lot more aggressive now. So he's going to be acting as kind of that secondary duelist alongside the Yoru. Both of them able to actually enter in very different angles than you're used to.
It means that with this matchup right here, a single duelist comp on Breeze will finally get a win. The question is, which one is it going to be?
Yeah.
Is it going to be the Jet or is it going to be the Yoru here from the side of Paper X? Because so far we have only seen success from the double duelist compositions.
Well, what says duelist better than no Sentinel composition, right? That is definitely W Gaming. So let's get this first match started. Paper X versus Gen G. Over to Hey, I'm Quack, and hey, it's Azurai.
Hey, it's me indeed, and with Quack. Man, time to bring your face masks. This is going to get a lot smoky here on Breeze. Triple controller, my man, on Paper X.
That is super interesting. I mean, we've never really seen this being pulled out from this team before. But apart from that, also something on the Yoru I think is a little bit worth mentioning. But of course, we have seen how strong Gen G was yesterday. We can see and we can expect a lot from Texture. Are they going to do the same thing?
Absolutely. Now, looks like Paper X is going to be starting to spread their wings a little bit all across the map. And this is, I think, the good thing about that triple controller comp is you do have so many options to blot a good chunk of a big map such as this Breeze.
Especially on the attack, right? Just having three, sets of smokes to cycle through. You can see that they already sent out a high tide across A. It creates a bit of pressure, but at the same time, sustaining a bit of damage towards this B site. I think Gen G gets a bit of information.
Yeah, haven't committed to toxic wall yet, so not really too much has been shown here by the hands of Paper X. There it is.
There we
1
go.
minute on the clock. There's still so many options that they can choose for, and I think they're just making sure that Gen G has to just commit a lot of their stars for the start of this.
Apart from that, also just with the gate crash that something is using, they're going all over the map, but here it comes.
Yeah, Tripwire on that A site. This is the Yoru though, so he can bypass it. Needs to break it. Munchkin has been given up already. Right in front of him, 2 on the contact point. It's good. Something finds another. And they already secured that A site in the blink of an eye. Rest of Gen G will have to go on that rotate back to the A site, but look at how far Devi has pushed up on Halls here. He's the first Vanguard for the moment. Holding, whiffing. He's gonna go down, but at least he's got that information for the rest of Paper X.
Yeah, it was a good hit nonetheless, and they know that there are players coming from Bridge, coming from Halls, and that just confirms a lot of it.
Okay, dash in. Texture's very aggressive into this as well as uber confident, but of course, Paper X just gonna be playing that post plan, something coming around the corner, repositions, has to help out his team. Right at the precipice of the smoke, push from Texture. Second, he can. 5 bullets, dashes right in, finds another one, and he picks up the 4K.
No way! First round, already picks up the 4th. You see how he has that trigger discipline. I mean, normally when we talk about trigger discipline, you're, hiding, waiting for the opportune moment. He's just waiting to track as the movement slows down. And that is unbelievable skill.
Man, the punish from that one too. You'd think that smoke would actually help out Paper X, but did absolutely nothing for them as Texture basically got a lot of these segmented 1v1 fights in the span of just a couple of seconds, ultimately turning the hand for Gen G.
And now they've picked up the Bulldogs. You got an Outlaw on Texture. He's looking to pick up the Bladestorm early on.
Oh, he wants to go for this insta peek on A main. PaperX, will they give him the satisfaction? He's getting closer. His teammates breaking and giving as much support as possible, and Monyet's down already.
I mean, that's the other thing, right? Because it's an Outlaw, it's just so powerful. Anything on an eco round, it just chews right through. So these guys, PaperX, they gotta be so careful.
You can already see one spotting the tripwire outside of B main. Still, it's not gonna stop PaperX from starting to move their forces all the way here. Looks like they're just okay with that. Devi still hasn't gotten any contact with the Sheriffs that he's bought in the past 2 rounds. That's looking a little bit iffy. With the Stars being committed here as well, and Texture actually pushing all the way up onto mid, this could be very bad for PaperX as the spike drops.
Spike down mid.
Reloads, they know he's here. They don't really want to challenge him. It's way too risky. So they're running out of options. You can't go back into Elbow. You can only, you're pretty much stuck inside of B main. Texture, well, Tailwind's away, so maybe got a bit of breathing room, but 30 seconds left, Asarai.
Something's gonna just try to make something happen, you know, no pun intended.
30 seconds
Make some contacts
left.
here, does have his Great Crash available. He wants to challenge out again the Outlaw of Texture, but when it's 140 body shot damage and you have shield or half shield, it's just not gonna work. You're just beating him the kills, and now he's got that ace. 2 rounds in to the first map of this game.
Wow, that's just a big boost of confidence for Texture starting things off. I mean, well, yesterday he said he was hangry. Today, I don't know what he's on, but this is a whole new look. Bladestorm already available. I mean, the other thing is also just, you know, PaperX, they had Sheriffs. They're just trying to maybe go for some picks or the spike plant. Couldn't really find anything, and that's a little bit surprising.
There's so many players, I think, in this 2024 Pacific League that is on their revenge arc, right? Like Lenny, not getting the chance to play for Team Secret, and Texture, as the Des was mentioning, not having any opportunity to showcase his duelist, but here comes the dueling potential for something as he pushes up onto Orange. Any tricky business? Spots one, getting into the Astral Dimension, goes out, flashes, he still challenges something, he's got to make something happen here, and he does get it. Follow up by Monyet, but Caron's holding on. 3 versus 3, spike planted down.
You got the Cascade up as well, so there's a lot more room for Seiken trying to play around this, pushing Gen G back. They want to burn down the timer, and they want to stay alive as long as possible.
Yeah, Munchkin's coming around the corner here on double doors. They're just waiting for him to drop down already. Forsaken's right here for the first contact, but gets punished by Meteor. He's going to be alone by himself. 1 versus 1, though. Devi, unknowing of where his opponent might be, not spotting Meteor, getting closer and closer. He might not even know about this. There it is. No more utilities for Meteor, so it's a straight-up start of the defuse. Devi playing and will be winning the gamble on the peak.
Yeah, you got the advantage of the spike. Might as well just hang back and, you know, play it loose and easy. And at the same time, I mean, you gotta love the utility that PaperX uses. You can see that, yeah, you know, 3 controllers, you got Mind Freak on the Sova. What? This might not be W Gaming, but no, it still very much is. The dimensional drift gives them so much space. Monyet is already there, kind of like what Will said on the desk, that secondary duelist, instantly trading back and forth for the entire team. And with that, you know, spike down, it's tough for Gen G to retake in such situations.
True, but they do love their first contact, and Texture is already on this operator. There's not really much utility that can really punish him, but okay, Gravity will activate it, stuns as well, and that's going to be, as the dust settles, 2 kills down against Gen G. PaperX have somewhat of an advantage here. Oh, still pushing through the smoke! Butchera with a double kill, triple kill, why don't you? And Mind Freak is alone by himself on Halls.
I can't believe that he reacted to that so quickly. I thought the Cascade would at least mask PaperX's intentions for just a second, but he reacts just as quick.
Caron's just so fast at being able to just get these punishes. Mind Freak's giving away his position. Of course, Texture's not going to miss the beat. Rex, they've been wanting to get this A main control for the longest time, but the smokes, man, the peek outs and the flashes, just even though they have the triple controller, it doesn't seem like it's, you know, it's giving them any leeway.
Yeah, not yet. That's the thing. I mean, the smokes are still just smokes, and without the flashes, dude, Caron was just popping off in that round. Round 5, this guy has 6 kills already as a controller.
I bet Will is starting to foam at the mouth. Yes, 3-1. Yes, this is what I was thinking, hoping about, predicting. PaperX still wanting to get that quick contact, feeding all the orbs for something. This is a pretty good idea, I'd still say, because if he does keep getting that dimensional drift of his, it does give them a lot more access into the back of the site, but of course they still have to deal with this close contact that Lakia is setting up on A.
Yeah, with the positioning that Gen G has, that classic 2-on-2 split. Actually, it's a 1-1-3 split. 3 stacked up, and it's just a little bit tougher for PaperX to break through. You got the stars as well, and those are really, really annoying. So maybe trying to bait around it, trying to Karen in. Really, really annoying. So maybe trying to bait around it, trying to, bait Karen into a peak. But then you also got to worry about texture.
Karena Singapura tuh wajib wamil cuy. Emang timingnya sayang aja, sangat disayangkan.
These set angles that they